Morning, motherfuckers. How you doing? Actually, I've realised through doing these videos first thing in the morning, it's literally the first time I've opened my mouth. Today, while I've opened my mouth, I do a bit of dancing and singing, but yeah, I feel like often my speaking muscles or whatever are a little bit out of practice. So anyway, so today I want to talk about interesting / weird concept, and I haven't really figured out my thoughts on this, so this is going to be very much a verbal diarrhea. I'm going to be brain farting, getting stuff wrong, whatever, but let's have fun with it. So today I'm talking about synchronicity, which is, I think I've got a definition here from Carl Jung as perceived meaningful coincidence, which is a nice pithy definition. So, I, growing up, came from a very sort of skeptical background. All my friends are kind of atheists. Very, hard, aggressive, arguing style, science-based, blah, 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 blah. And I very much fitted into that mold, became very much into the critical thinking thing. Anything slightly woo-woo is a load of bullshit. But then I think it almost seemed like I went so far in that direction that I came out the other side, and I started to see some cool / interesting stuff and things like meditation, blah, blah, blah. And when I've been digging into this world, I found that while there's loads and loads of bullshit surrounding it, and most of the people, frankly, kind of don't know what they're talking about, there's an undercurrent of some kind of quite interesting stuff that happens, especially around the topic of human belief systems, power of belief. So synchronicity is one of these. So I've been reading a book recently called The Artist's Way, and I'll be doing it's a 12-week program on creativity. And part of this is, every week you have a little check-in where you say, have you experienced any moments of synchronicity? And this whole book is saying, when you open up to your creative side, these moments of synchronicity are going to be popping up again and again and again, and it's amazing. This stuff just always happens. And if only you just open yourself up to it, And I read it and I was like, you know what, it's kind of probably a bit of a load of bullshit, but I feel like with a lot of these things, if you just kind of pretend you go along with it a bit and kind of buy into it a bit, then it kind of works in some kind of weird belief system-y way. And weirdly, I've honestly found loads of synchronous moments popping up here and there in my life. It's been really amazing. From wanting to do various opportunities coming up. I won't go too much into it now because we're only doing a 5-minute video, but it made me think. It's almost like confirmation bias is this idea that when you believe something, you will filter out experiences that are not in line with those beliefs, and you will filter in experiences that are in line with those beliefs. And this is, basic behavioral psychology. I think. So, if I believe that life chucks up these moments of synchronicity, then I'm going to look for those moments more. My ears will be more pricked to things. So how humans kind of perceive things is that we filter stuff out. There's all this shit happening. We filter stuff out. So it's like the lens with which we view stuff is how we filter stuff out. So I think maybe these a better way of describing synchronicity than there being these amazing coincidences happening everywhere is that there are these amazing coincidences happening anywhere all the time everywhere, because that's just how laws of probability work. But usually we just shut ourselves off to them because we think it's a load of bullshit, or we're not like focused on it, because when we're focused on it, then we really go for it. So it's like people who are in a particularly who've been had particularly shitty relationships the whole time, where they've been like fucked around, they look for the tiniest flickers of untrustworthiness in other people, and they'll leech on that and be like, this is evidence of this is. Whereas someone else, like, I mean, like, I've never had any sort of relationship issues. I just don't notice any of this stuff. Maybe it's happening. I don't know. Don't care. It doesn't really, it doesn't bother me. And nothing's ever seemed to come of it. So I think it's like with synchronicity, it's like if you think this stuff's going to happen, then it kind of ends up happening, and that's kind of cool. And that makes me think, what are the ramifications to this? Like, in some ways, if you can kind of trick yourself into like really believing like anything useful to believe, then, and you really do believe it about the world, then these things will start to happen. Things I hate sounding like one of those guys spouting those cliched views about laws of attraction, but I do just think it is a thing. I do think it is a thing. Anyway, I've gone over time, but that was really fun for me to talk about.